Hello. So, welcome everyone to the Spring One Release 2024. This is the product release webinar, and today we will go through all the changes in this release. So, uh, the release webinar is scheduled to go live at 10 a.m. Norwegian time, and we will start right away. Okay, so as you can see, I am sharing the screen for today's presentation deck. And the Spring One release, as you may have known, has just gone live today's early morning. So before we dive into the details, let's go through what will be included in today's webinar. So we will have an overview of changes in Onix products, namely Onix Work, Onix Worker, and the new Onix Toolstar application. And then we'll come to the features demonstration session where we will go through the most highlighted changes. And finally, the webinar will conclude it with the question and answer session. So in case that you have any questions, we have the chat uh, as a channel for you to tap in and send us the questions. You can send it either in the public chat or in the private chat. So in the public chat, as it named, everyone can see your question. But if you are sharing some sensitive information, you can share the question in a private chat. And in case that any questions that cannot be answered within the webinar, we will follow up with you via email after this event. We'll try to answer as many questions as possible during this Q&A session. And finally, at the end of the webinar, we'll take you to an evaluation form. It only takes about 2 minutes, so we would really appreciate it if you could answer it. Then we can improve our webinars in the future. So yeah, let's go into the details. Let's dive right in to see what's new in the Spring One release 2024. So this is all the changes in this release. And as you can see, we have two new languages coming to all of Onix products. And in Onix Work, we have some new features. For example, the new companies module, the new features in dashboards module, and also the enhancements to the orders module, the system properties, equipment module, and also uh, the sub-privilege following the release of the new company's model. And into other apps, in Onix Worker, we are welcoming the ability to create multiple equipment at once. So you can do it. You can create many equipment all in one go. And in Onix Tool Store, we have two enhancements to show only available equipment by default during the checkout process and to identify devices with custom names. So we'll come to the first change. It is the two new languages in all of Onix products. So either you are using Onix Work, Onix Worker, Inspect, Onix Tag, or any products coming from Onix, you can click on the user settings and then you choose to change the language. And as you can see, the Portuguese and German have been added to the list of languages. And also, if you are setting the preferred language in Onix account, you can also choose these two languages so that every time you come to Onix Work, or any product, the default language will be your preferred language. And secondly, we welcome the new company's model. This is a really big change, which introduces a modern interface, which allows you to switch views, to use the advanced filter, to sort or to group the company list so that you can manage a large number of partner companies more easily. And also in this new company's model, you can easily understand which equipment data is currently being shared between your company and your partner companies. And finally, following the new company's model, we have also revamped the new company profile section under the settings. So you can polish your company profile, and this profile will be shown in other companies model. Here we have an important note. So this new company's model will completely replace the old version that was used before this release. So it means that you cannot switch back to the old company's model. And in case that you're wondering, how can I know what to do here? We will have a demo session at the features demo so that we can walk through all of the most essential features in this new company's model. And secondly, we come to a bunch of new features in the dashboards model in Onix Work. So in dashboards, uh, today we can view the equipment and the job data over various time intervals. So it means that, as you can see in this illustration, I am seeing the equipment created per year and the number of jobs done per quarter. It means that I can see the data in years, quarters, or even smaller, like days, weeks, or months. And the two widgets that have this feature is the equipment from view and job from view. Okay, coming up next is a new set of standard dashboards. So we understand that setting up a new dashboard might take up time and you have a lot to explore. So here today we introduce four new standard dashboards with coming each coming with a predefined set of widgets. And we will look into each standard dashboard later on in the feature demo session. So we have dashboards for the equipment owner, for the inspector, supplier, and then worker. It means that you can just click on this standard dashboard and then you have a whole list of widgets ready for use. And the next one will be the new job from view widget. So before we have equipment from view, which allows you to see the status of your equipment. And now we have job from view. So to help you track the inspection data of your company. And also, if you're an inspector, it will help you to track the inspection that your company have done. So as you can see in this illustration, I have used the job from view widget to see the uh, checklist progress. So I can know that if there are any jobs that have the checklist not completed or completed. And similarly, I have a number of such jobs per status or number of jobs created per quarter. So you can also explore this by yourself in the dashboards model. Next one will be a powerful enhancement to the orders model. It is the power to recall selected equipment in a process transaction. So before this release, if you want to recall uh, you have to recall either a whole order or a whole order line. And if just one equipment has the problem, then it will impact other equipment. So now this release by recall selecting by select only the equipment that you want and then recall it, it will help you work more efficiently. But before you do this, make sure to check our release notes or the rule of how the equipment are recalled. Because based on the form that is used in each other line, the impact of this recall action will be different. Okay, and then another enhancement to the orders module is that you can view the recall history. So if you come to an order, then open an order line and come to its numbering tab, then you can see in the process tab, there is a new button, View Recall History. And by clicking it, you will see that, oh, there was a recall at this time, 7th of March on 11:30 by which user in your company, the number of equipment that was recalled, and then any associated comment to explain this recall. In the others model, we also have another enhancement that is to ensure product rules during the reprocessing. So in the latest winter release 2024, we have introduced the reprocess feature. And now the enhancement will have to ensure that if in the product rule require any field to be filled in, this rule will be enforced when you reprocess the equipment. For example, here in this illustration, the serial number and the batch number are the required field for this product. And the production year is the read-only field, so it is grayed out. So this will help you ensure that your equipment data is consistent. And next is the define your own choices of system properties. So before, if you only have a list of default system properties provided by Onix, but now if you come to equipment module, you open an equipment and then choose to select its properties, then you can choose to manage properties, and you can select equipment. Oh, sorry, you can select properties that have the input types as choices or choices and free text as long as they choices. And here we have added a new button, use customized values. So you can also add new values. For example, I can add 6, extremely high, and 7, uh, not applicable, for example. And then when I use the properties, I just select from this predefined choices. And next is the sub-privileged companies, managed company connections. So this is followed by the uh, new companies model. So before, in the list of privileges, we have the companies as the main privilege and settings as the main privilege. And there is a managed connected company under the settings. But now, in the companies module, we have also integrated the company connection into the companies model. So that's why new privileges will look like this. So the companies will be the main privilege, and under it, there is a new managed company connection sub-privilege. And in the settings will also be the main one, but the sub-managed connected company is already removed. And we have also added this table in the release note, but uh, adding it here so that we can explain. So here, this table shows the how previous privileges are migrated to the new ones. So for example, if the previous companies and settings are no access and the managed connected company is also no access, then in this first scenario, the new companies and the settings will have the same no access, but the managed company connection sub-privilege will have the no access. So this is like 6 different scenarios, and this is an example. So for example, I have a user named John Smith having equipment owner license, and I have a role for him named document handler, and this is the access in each uh, column, the column for license, column for role, and also the column for the user, the final one. And then these columns are migrated following the rules in the previous slide. So this is how his new uh, like user privilege will look like. And then we have 2 new standard equipment views in the equipment model. So we have the preventive maintenance expired and delivered equipment. So if you click on delivered equipment, you can see which equipment were delivered by your company. And the other new standard view will show the equipment which have overdue preventive inspections. And next is uh, a new feature coming from Onix Worker. So similarly to Onix Inspect in the last release, in this release we have enabled you to create multiple equipment at once. And this equipment will have the same details, and they will either have different serial numbers and the same batch number, or either or they will have the different batch numbers but no serial number. And this will be introduced more clearly in the feature demo session later on. So we have gone through the new changes in the Onix Work and Onix Worker. So we only have two new changes left that are the enhancements in Onix Tool Store. And these are only available in the new Onix Tool Store. So in this one, we show only available equipment by default. So if you use new Onix Tool Store, you use the you are you want to check out the equipment, then when clicking on the search, the default view will be available equipment only. So it will help you eliminate all distractions of equipment that are not available for checkout. And the last enhancement of this overview is to identify your devices with custom names. So if you're an Onix Toolstar user, and especially if you are an administrator, you know that every time you install Onix Toolstar on your devices, you have to do the initial setup. And uh, before this release, the devices it will have the default name taken from the device name. For example, I will have Onix Full as the laptop's name, and that will be applied to the device name. But now you can also custom this name. So, for example, here, when I install Onix Toolstar on my laptop, I choose the name Offshore PC, PDH, and this name will be shown in Onix Work. So every time I come to Onix Work, I see a list of Onix Toolstar installed on different devices. I can quickly identify which is my device, and then I can do the necessary setup. So that's all for the overview of all the changes. So now we will come to the demonstration of features. So this is a list of featured in this demonstration session. So we will go through the new company's model in Onix Work, the set of standard dashboards, and how to record selected equipment in a process transaction. And also we'll have a look at how to create multiple equipment in Onix Worker. Okay, let's go. So as you can see, I am opening Onix Work right now, and I am using the company's model. So this is the banner that will show up first when you enter the new company's model. If you wish to see the related articles and also the help resources related to this new company's model, then you click on Learn More. It will lead you to our Onix community. And if you click on this, it will close the banner. And you will be taken in a tour to see the most highlighted features. So if, as I have mentioned before, you can switch between company lists. This is the view, similarly to the equipment or the job model views. And if then I click next, and here you can see there is a place for you to see the connection request. And in this company list, we have enhanced it so that it shows the company type and statuses. So you will understand which which one is the member company, which is a member company is a company that signs contract with us and is using Onix Work actively. And if there is no like member label here, it means that this company is a non-member one, and a non-member company can be created manually by you, and it will be directly managed by you also. If you set any inactive, if you set any non-member company as inactive, the company type right here will be grayed out. So this one is not grayed out. It means that it is an active non-member company. And if you have Onix Express license, then the users at this non-member company can access their documentation via your Onix Express portal. Okay, so firstly, I have mentioned about the views. So if you click on the views name and you pick a view, you can see that we have added all of this one. You can manage your non-member companies, the member companies that have connected and are sharing equipment data with you, or member companies with access to to the company, or any member companies that you are having access to. And one important like one special functionality of this new companies model is that if you click on this on companies view, you can see a list of every member companies that is okay reloaded of all companies that are using Onix Work. So, for example, if I am uh, signing contract with a new supplier, and then I want to establish a connection with that new supplier, then I will switch to this on companies view and then type in the supplier name, and then I will can find them in here. So it will help me to uh, make new connections and then share my equipment data and more fluent, work more efficiently with other partner companies. Okay, and the next one will be the filter. So you can filter. You can either filter by connection type. So I can filter for not connected member companies, and I can see that these are the member companies that I have not connected to me. So if I find my supplier in this list, then I can click on them and send a connection request by clicking on connect now. As you can see, I'm using them. I'm This is for demonstration purpose, so that's why you are seeing the label sales. But in real life, when you are working with your own company's account, then you will not see any sales label like this. And I can also sort this company by these fields, and and I can also group by these fields. So for example, I can sort by zip code so that I can find the supplier or an inspector in my area because they are sharing the zip code. They are categorized by the zip code. Okay, and remember the question mark that shows the connection request. So this button will show you all of the connection requests, and you can also in filter for this request. So for example, I have a connection request from a company called Onyx Energy Co. And which you can see the details of this request here, and the access level that they are requesting is inspector so that they can create deliver equipment to my company, uplift and inspect all of my company. And if I have two actions, approve or reject this request. And if I want to consider more, I can click on view detail, and the all of the access level and the other details are explained right here. And they also send us a comment. Okay, so if I'm not sure, then just close this panel. I will not approve this for now. And speaking about connection, then let's have a look at how the connection are explained in this new model. So I filter for the connected member companies. So for example, I have already connected with Big Tech. So if I click on view connection details, I can see that Uplift, my company, is having the supplier access to Big Tech, and Big Tech doesn't have any access to my company's equipment data. So if I want to uh, edit this connection, this two-way connection, and I click on this edit connection, and I can share, just for example, request access or share my data. And if I want Big Tech to read only my equipment data, I can choose this one, and as you can see, it is shown right here. I click next, and I leave a comment, uh, and then I can choose to send a notification email or not. So click on off the top row, and then finish. And the connection request will be, and then the data access will be shared to BigTech immediately because you are sharing, you are not requesting. Okay, I will discard this. And as mentioned earlier, we also have a new company profile. So if you come to the settings and the company profile right here, you can see that this company profile has been redesigned and there are some more fields added to the profile. So you can either you can first finish uploading your company's logo and then edit the overview for your company, input the organization type, the industry, the size, so that this information will be visible to other partners when they visit the company's model. And the company information will be public. The invoice related info uh, will have to help you with administration related tasks, and then add the certifying organization logo. So all of this are compact so you can see most of the information on one page. Okay, and that's all for the company's model. And the next one will be the dashboard. So here entering the dashboard's model, and if I click on the dashboard here, I can see list of standard dashboard. So for the equipment owner, you can see most of the widgets related to the equipment. And if you enter the inspector, these are mostly about equipment and issues and inspection because this is for inspector. Yes, as you can see, these are a long list of widgets, so you do not have to configure all of them. And then the supplier shows the widgets show the updated equipment, the delivered equipment. And if you have any idea on on which widget should be added, we really welcome your ideas on this community for ideas. And then on worker, the worker here, uh, it is set to show on Onix Worker by default, which means that if uh, your employees are using Onix Worker app on mobile phone, they can choose the dashboards module and then they can see this dashboards. And the next one will be the uh, orders model. So to recall the selected equipment from a process transaction. So here I am open the orders model. I am selecting an order and an order line. And you can use this by going to the numbering tab and then click on process. So here I have two batches of process transactions. So I process this one at 9:58. and I discovered that I want to recall this only equipment. So I don't want to recall everything. Do not want to recall of these 10 equipment. So I select it and then I click on recall, and then I will have a comment to edit serial number, for example, and I click OK. And you can see that it is recalled immediately because it uses the single equipment form. So I will come back to the other line so you can see the forms. So this is a single equipment form, so it will allow me to uh, recall. But if I'm using a multiple equipment form or an operate M form, the behavior will be different, and I will receive a warning message that the recall action will also recall other equipment. So I wish to proceed? Then if yes, then I just confirm. So you can view the details in our release notes. And finally is in Onix Worker. Here I am using Onix Worker and I'm opening the equipment model. So this the new feature will allow you to create multiple equipment at once. So here you can see that there are the new buttons added to the serial number or batch number. So I will first choose a product. Okay, and then for example, I want to create 10 new equipment. Each have different serial number. So I will type in A1, then A2, A3, A4, A5. So I just demonstrate 5 equipment first, for, so that we can move on to the batch numbers. Okay, and then I click on OK. So I can choose and set the same batch number for all of these 5 equipment. Then I can input the information. So for example, I will choose location as the library and no comment, no any other information. And then I click save. And you can see that this equipment uh, have already been created, sharing the same information with different serial numbers and the same batch number. And what if I choose to create uh, equipment with the same batch number? Okay. So, for example, I have a batch named AAA and 5 equipment in this batch, and another batch named AB with 7 equipment. Then I click Save. You will see that this serial number field will be disabled, uh, and this other information I can just fill in when if necessary. So I will click OK, Save. And you see that these are the equipment created from my last action. I click on one and it shows the equipment detail as taken from the product and no serial number, only the batch number. Okay, so those are all for the feature demo session. So then we will come to the next one. It will be the uh, Q&A session. Okay, so I have seen a question from Lars Eric. Is there a way to filter the view on the dashboard inspector? What if I, as an inspector, would like to view just one of my clients there? And can I use the inspector view as a template for creating a client-specific dashboard? So I will answer all of this one by one first. Is there a way to filter the view? For now, it is no. The standard dashboard cannot be edited. So for the question number 2, what if you, as an inspector, would like to view just one of your clients there? Then you can use the standard dashboard inspector. as a template, so you can uh, see how it is configured, and you can create your own dashboard which is similar but with the filter for your client there. So it also answers your third question. Yes, you can use the inspector as a template for creating a client-specific dashboard. And if in case that you have any idea on how to make this template or this standard dashboard more easy for use, then we really welcome if you can register it as a product idea on Onix community. So you can go to Onix homepage and then click on the product ideas button on the right side. Uh, there's a private chat. So the question is, what if my company is using the old version of Onix Toolstar, and how can my company see the customized device names like the last one you presented? So for this question, uh, the new feature that allows you to customize the device names for if your device installed on Toolstar, this is not supported in the old version of Onix Toolstar. So it means you have to switch to the new Onix Toolstar app. And we also want to remind you here that the old version of Onix Store will retire during uh, the middle of May this year. So make sure that you take your time switching to the new Onix Store app. And if you need any special help in transitioning to the new version, then you can contact us at support@onyx.com to send an email. And then we will forward it to the responsible team so to help you with this transition. Uh, This is not a private chat, but it is a note for the new privilege, the new sub-privilege managed company connection. So if in case you are wondering if you have to take any extra actions for the new privilege after you receive this information in a release notes in our notice emails earlier, then uh, we encourage you, just for sure, we encourage you to check the role settings in the settings model in Onix Work. And then if you think that any adjustment to the roles that your company is setting up should be made, then please adjust. Otherwise, the new changes in the privileges shouldn't affect your daily workflow, as we have considered it carefully to make sure that the new sub-privilege will give the permission to the right user, to the right role and license. Okay. And while we are waiting for any new question, just want to remind you that if you have any feedback about the recent changes in Onix Work, uh, you can either share the feedback as blog idea on Onix community, because that is our official channel for receiving ideas, and we have added the voting feature on there. So any other users can go there and vote. And if your idea has many votes, we will understand that it is super beneficial for your work, and that we can prioritize it in our development plan. Otherwise, if you are sharing sensitive information and you cannot post it publicly, then you can send an email to us at support@onyx.com so we can advise you further. Okay, so seems like we do not have any other questions. No, there's no other question, no public or private question. So thank you for joining us today and for asking uh, really insightful question. So we really welcome your feedback for this release, and If you have any other question, please share on this community or send email to us at support@onix.com. And then thank you for joining today's webinar. Okay, then have a nice day.